What is bisexuality? Bisexuality is when one person is attracted to more than one gender. It's no secret that the LGBT community has struggled when receiving representation on screen. However, when we do receive representation, it's very limited. We see gay characters, but when we see the possibility of bisexual characters, we get this.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
How can you say bisexuality is not real? It's right in the middle of LGBTQ.
Yes, I am familiar with the letters LGBTQ.
You rolled your eyes at the B. You're prejudiced against bisexuals.
I am not.
Then acknowledge the B.
I refuse to acknowledge the B.
People of Degrassi, do you deserve a president that wants to make this a place for everyone, or one that can't keep it in his pants?
Oh, Tristan, time's up.
I think the school deserves a president who can separate his personal and professional lives.
Miles, enough?
Decisive my ass. You can't even decide if you like boys or girls.
Okay, I think we got a little off track here.
Characters that could be gay or straight end up dismissing bisexuality as a quote-unquote road to being gay, or quote-unquote being confused. Sometimes we don't get the actual bisexual character labeling themselves.
Look, you're cool with being a lesbian, but I don't know what I am.
The word is bisexual, Paige, and it's just a label. Who cares?
Or bisexuality is completely voided and not even considered. First, let's do a deep dive into this episode of Law & Order. A gay man is murdered. The premise of the episode revolves around them figuring out the fact that a straight man who had sex with him murdered him after the fact. The characters go around talking to multiple guys who are revealed to have wives and even children that had sex with men. These characters are called gay by the rest of the cast. However, the problem here is that bisexuality isn't even an option for them. Not once is the phrase bisexual othered in this episode, despite the clear fact that these men still have sex with women. Now, sexuality is a spectrum, and I get that, and these characters may identify as gay in the long run. However, bisexuality apparently isn't even an option for them. The murderer has a wife and 2 kids, and it was known that he has sex with his wife. However, the word bisexuality is not referred to when it comes to his story. This contributes to bisexual erasure. It's a huge reason as to why labels are so important. While some people have their personal preference to not go by labels, labels help some people feel validated, and with storytelling, we're told to show and not tell. With those two in mind, the word bisexual is rarely said in media, and sometimes even when it is said, within the Degrassi Next class, there's a prominent bisexual character named Miles, and when he comes out bisexual, this happens.
Stop it. Am I doing something wrong?
We want to talk about this boyfriend of yours.
Because it's ridiculous.
Kissing someone is ridiculous? Well, then I guess all of us are ridiculous. Except Hunter.
Suck it.
You're not gay, Miles.
Never said I was.
And yet you're kissing Tristan on a regular basis?
I like him, why not?
Miles Hollingsworth. Little boy blue suddenly likes dudes.
Just one, have you seen him?
I don't hate girls. I love them. A lot.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, you don't love them. Love them now, right? Don't you date boys now?
Don't we have more important things to discuss than my sexual preference?
However, he does get a boyfriend in the show, Tristan, who is gay. And of course, since he has a gay boyfriend, his boyfriend would understand his sexuality. Ha! Right?
Miles, enough?
Decisive my ass. You can't even decide if you like boys or girls.
Okay, I think we got.
And the sad part about this, what Tristan says is never treated as wrong in the show never bothers to call out his biphobic actions, and he never once apologizes. In the end, Miles still says he's bisexual, but he never was once able to stand up for himself and defend his sexuality when so many people invalidated it. Similar biphobia happened in the episode of Will and Grace called Biplane, which aired recently. Will and Grace meet a man who is stereotypically flamboyant but identifies as bisexual. He gets invalidated by Will and Grace the entire episode, and Will even says this to the man, whose name is Trevor.
But that's any monogamous relationship. You have to make a choice not to be with other people.
You're right, but the part of you that chooses to be with women is just responding to societal pressure. It's the same reason we all watch Big Little Lies.
How can you say bisexuality's not real? It's right in the middle of LGBTQ.
Many more biphobics are in this episode, like the statement that the B and the Q of the LGBTQ community are just waiting to see if they are L or G, which contributes to the biphobic stereotype that bisexuals are simply on their way to figuring out if they are gay or lesbian, which is again a harmful stereotype of bisexual people. These series have all spanned between a 15-year lifespan. Law & Order's Lowdown episode in 2004, these particular episodes of Degrassi from 2014 to 2016, and Will and Grace episode in 2019. And with a small yet big time span, there are some improvements, but still problems. Law & Order doesn't give the option for possible bisexuality. Degrassi has a character that identifies as bisexual, but he gets invalidated constantly, and no one's ever punished for it. And Will and Grace, despite coming around by the end of the episode, still speaks hurtful language towards bisexual and rubs it off as comedy. This is a problem as it shows that bisexuality is still getting erased and misunderstood in media. Even in Will and Grace's case, where the lesson is supposed to be that bisexuality is valid. Now, a BuzzFeed article by Kelly Martinez talked about something similar happening to Glee, where Kurt learns how to not be biphobic, but the wording was still very harmful. It's the same case for Will and Grace. Let's move into some text. Ron Becker's piece called Guy Love detailed some history on how more prominent gay representation had been seen on television over the years. One example was how he talked about the dating reality series Boy Meets Boy, where a gay man is in a house with other presumably gay men. However, the twist was that there were some straight men in there. Which begs the question, did they put any bisexual men in the show? Or did they just call the bisexual men, if any, straight or gay? The show came out in 2003, and it was another example similar to Law & Order, where bisexuality isn't even considered. Becker also talks about Brokeback Mountain, where the main characters are never even referred to as gay and live as straight men, and they have wives and children. While it's not uncommon for gay people to be married or even have kids in a heterosexual relationship, the possibility that one or both of them is bisexual isn't an option either, since neither of them refuse to be identified as gay in the film. With my examples, what does it say about how bisexuality is portrayed in media nowadays? Bisexual erasure has always been a thing, but the fact that I was able to choose examples from 2004, 2016, and even something as recent as 2019 with blatant biphobia and bisexual erasure proves we have a long way to go. What I'm trying to say is that the blatant biphobia comes from the lack of understanding about bisexuality and what it is. Seeing blatant biphobia on television to this very day proves and perpetuates the ignorance behind what bisexuality is.